Hello everyone, welcome to GIS Man. I'm Miles Lee, long time no see. So in the last year, I made a video about how to use the inbuilt Redux and React lifecycle functions to implement the widget-to-widget communication in ArcGIS Experience Builder. And this is the video. I can see there are so many comments on this video. And then some people also send me the email asking me if I can introduce how to use the Esri official methods to do the same thing because they want to follow the standard of the Esri official. Okay. Yes, and that's why I'm here today, and I would like to introduce you how to do that. And before we get started, let's take a look what we did in the last year with the alternative method. Okay. So just wait for a sec. Here we have two widgets, the sender and receiver. So in the sender, we have a text box. We type some word in the text box. For example, hello world, Miles Lee, for example, and then click send. And then in our receiver, the data will be received. And this is achieved by using the Gmute inbuilt Redux and combined with the React lifecycle function. And let's take a look at the code, just review a bit. So firstly, we take a look at our sender. In our sender, not much things, just has a input box with the on text change functions. Okay, and then also has a functions to send our message out. And here we use the dispatch functions. And then it will take the widget ID of the receiver and then take our input box content as the value, okay, and then via the channels of the inbuilt Gmail Redux, okay, to send out this message to the receiver. So in the receiver, what we can see is, of course, we will need to have a place to show the message. But to obtain the message, it will be need the lifecycle functions, component the update. The component the update is a lifecycle function which will be refreshed and called every time that the state is changed. The state, is a global state that is stored in the properties, okay, the props of the ArcGIS Experience Builder. Okay, so when the state is changed, this lifecycle will be called. Okay, and then what it do is to obtain the global state values and store it in our local state values. And then the local state value is bind with the place that show the message. So let's come back to this screen. We can see that our sender uses a dispatch function to send out the message to the target receiver. Okay, and then the target widget receiver will obtain the data via the lifecycle functions and then display it on our display box or whatever. Okay, this is the whole procedure that we introduced last year. However, this is not the official method that's shown on the Esri website. In the Esri website, it has lots of things. Okay, and then the official one will be build up the own Redux store action and reducer to share state between the widgets. And here we can see that the code is not complete because this is just the simple, I think it's just a simple example. Okay. However, we will need to complete the whole process in this video. In order to do that, we will need to use some simple code that provided by the official website. We can click the simple code here and then go to the ArcGIS Experience Builder SDK resource. This is the official GitHub repository established by Esri, headquarters and R&D center all around the world. Okay, so we come here and then we click on widgets. Here we can see there are some example codes. And today we will need to go to the Redux. Okay, and then we click in the source. Of course, you can clone the whole repository, but for this demo, I just use some of the codes. Okay, so we will need to use the codes in the extensions. Okay, we need to use the codes in the extension. Actually, the official method provided by Esri is like this. It establish your own Redux via the extensions modules, and then put these extension modules inside your customized widgets. Okay, and then you need to declare it, and then after that you can share the state between widgets or among various widgets. Okay, so we click this .ts file. Okay, this is the extensions module. Okay, the extensions modules that allow us to use the Redux. Okay, so we will just need to copy and paste this, and then just wait a sec. I copy. Okay, and then in receiver, and of course you can also in the standard to establish the extensions modules. So let's do that. We click new folder, and then we create a folder called extensions right here, and then under this folder we create a file, any name, but I mean just make it as same as the official website. We use the default name my-store.ts. Okay, is a TypeScript, and then copy and paste these codes. Okay, copy and paste this code under this file. Very easy, right? And you can also directly copy this module to the sender, because sometimes, for example, the communications among widgets are not one way. Sometimes the sender send the message to the receiver, and then receiver also need to send back the response message to the sender. Okay, so you can also copy the extensions among the receiver and sender. Okay, this time I establish it in receiver first, and then I can also copy it to the sender. Okay, so here we establish our extensions module framework. Okay, later I will go through a little bit about this code, but now let's declare the extensions first in our manifest file. So how to do that? Let's go back to our previous page. Where is it? Let's go to the Redux. Okay, so right here we can see these descriptions. In the manifest.json, we will need to declare our extensions modules. Otherwise, in our customized widgets, the ArcGIS Experience Builder cannot find out where the extension is. Okay, so we need to declare our extensions in our manifest.json. So in each of the widgets, we have the manifest.json files. Okay, not only this receiver and sender, but also some of my other projects. For example, we also have the manifest.json. Okay, so in the receiver and sender, we will need to declare. We can add this code at the end. Okay, just copy and paste, because the official GitHub repository already provide us the code. So we can just copy and paste this. Okay, so as well as in our receiver, we do the same thing. Okay, we just copy and paste this. Okay, so this will tell where to find out our extensions modules. So from Now on, the receiver in our the widgets in our ArcGIS Experience Builder can find out where the extension is. Okay. So after declaring the extensions, the next step is to change the code in our widgets. Okay, to change the codes in our widget. So first thing, let's change our sender, because I believe the code will be short right here. Okay, so what we need to do is to, let's make this screen bigger. Okay, so in the sender, remember we have send message functions. When we click the button to call these functions, and then this function use the dispatch functions. Okay, use the dispatch functions, and then pass in the input message as well as the target widget ID, and then go through the inbuilt Gmail Redux, okay, to send the message out. So we change a little bit about this. We just comment it, okay, because in this case later we can compare what's the difference between two methods. So it's also similar. Use the dispatch function, but what we send is a little bit different. Here we send there is a two attributes. One is called type, one is the value. Okay. So for the type, we will need to send out the action code. The action code is declared in the action code is declared and written in our the Redux extension module. Okay. Later I will go back there and show you guys. So in the value is the value that we input in our input box. Okay. Of course, before that we store it in our local state. Okay. So this is what we need to do right here. And of course, if you have multiple actions and you would like to send different messages, for example, you have two input box. Okay, then you can dispatch more than one messages to different actions. For example, here we dispatch the second message. For example, you have two input box. Of course, in this video, we just have one input box. Okay, we just has one input box, but if you have two, for example, and then you can send it out via the different different actions. Okay, different actions code. Okay, so now we just delete this one. We just send it to our my action one. My action one, if you go back to the extension modules, we can see that is declared, okay, in the evil keys, in the my action keys. Okay, it's declared here, and then the interface is export. Okay, and then in the Redux, of course, the knowledge about the Redux, there are lots of details. In this short video, I can't introduce every details of it, but the most important thing here is the reducer. Okay, the reducer is the functions. Okay, the reducer is the functions in the Redux that is used to digest and absorb the action code and the messages, okay, from the global state. I'm not sure if my English is good enough to explain this, but please remember the reducer is very important. It's to use to absorb and take and digest the actions behavior and to digest the actions value. Okay, and then store it into the state. Okay, so here we can also see our action 1 and action 2 that we declare before and that we export as the interface. Okay, so here is why we can see, the type my action 1 is right here. We will need to dispatch our values to these destinations, the action 1, okay? So this is the sender. Let's check about it if we miss anything. Yeah, I think nothing left. So let's go to the receiver. So in the receiver, what we need to do, the first thing is to state the state, okay? We will need to state the global state, map the global states in the widgets, okay? So this could be done by declare the static map extra state props function. This map extra state props function is to use to map the global Redux state into our current widget. Okay, so let's do that. So right here, we use the keyword static, and then the function is map extra state props, and it has a variable state, and the type is the IM state. And inside, we will need to return the object. For example, we have a two value A and B, and then return these objects. The A is responsible to my action 1, and B is in response to my action 2. Okay, my action 1 and my action 2 is two actions that we defined in our previous Redux extension module. So here we go, and let's make it a little bit tidy. Okay, so we define these static functions, use it to map the global Redux states into our current widgets. So after that, we don't need to realize on our React.js lifecycle functions. The component did update is the React.js lifecycle function, which is triggered every time that the state is updated. Okay, so now because we have already mapped the global Redux state into the current widget, we can retrieve the data from the global Redux state directly. We don't need to rely on these lifecycle functions to retrieve the data from the state when it's refreshed. Okay, so we can just uncomment this and uncomment this, or you can just delete it. Delete the whole lifecycle functions because it's not used anymore. Okay, now I uncomment it. And then at the end, here is the display box, the label to show the data we retrieve. So this is used with a lifecycle function because the lifecycle function previously it retrieved the data when the state is updated. From the it retrieves the data globally when the state is updated. Okay, and then it stores the data into the local state, and then the display label show the local state value. Okay, so now because our lifecycle function is not used anymore, so this is not going to be used as well. So we can just uncomment it. And then we just copy and paste this, and here we change this because now we can directly retrieve the data from the global Redux state. Okay, so we can directly retrieve it from the global Redux state. Okay, for example, if you want to retrieve the A value from action 1, my action 1, you type this props A, otherwise type this prop B. And if you define more values and action, you can type this dot props dot C and D. Something like that. So here we change some things to make it a bit clear. So we have changed everything from for our receiver. Now let's take a look at the results. Okay, so yeah, let's restart this. Okay, and close the old one. So just wait for a while. Let's turn on this, the second method, okay? Different from our first method. The first method is that we make in last year. And here is the sender. So same as before, we type something. The official method is done now. For example, we type this and click send. You see, the message is successfully transferred from sender 1 widget to the receiver 1 widget. Okay, all good. Do you like it? See, I mean, it's the appearance and the UI looks totally same as the first method, but the internal theory and the business logics are changed. Okay. So from now on, I believe that you know how to use the Esri official method to implement the widget to widget communication in ArcGIS Experience Builder. If you are still interested, I mean, I can spend some time to show you what's the difference between these two methods. Firstly, the theory of two methods are a little bit different. Previously, we send out a message using the inbuilt GMU Redux and combined with lifecycle functions in the receiver to implement the whole process. But in the new official methods, not the new official methods, I mean in the official method, we establish the Redux extension module. Okay, we establish the Redux extension module and then declare the module in our widget. Okay, and then map in the receiver, map the global Redux state into the current widget. Okay, and then the sender can send out a message and the receiver can directly retrieve the message from the global Redux state. And it does not need the lifecycle functions anymore. So the method 1 and method 2, both of them have advantages and disadvantages. I believe my previous method, I mean that I make the video in last year, is even simpler than this one, because this one you need to establish the extension module, you need to declare the extensions in your manifest.json, you need to still need to do some things in your widgets code. But the speed of this method is faster than my last year's method, because the lifecycle function actually it takes time. It waits for the state update and refresh. Okay, so the speed of this official method is faster. It's a bit faster, and also more standardized, because you can declare as many actions variables in your extension modules as you want. And then if in the old method, I mean, you need to know each widget's ID. Okay, so both of them have advantages and disadvantages, depends on where you use it and how do you like to use it. So basically, this is the videos I make to show the official ways to do the widget to widget communications, and hopefully you like it. If you like it, give me a like, and then yeah, stay tuned and see you next time. Bye.